Guys, from our last adventure at the Sea of Galilee, today we're going to move to Cana to visit the wedding church there, following which we will drive down to Nazareth to visit the Church of the Annunciation and St. Joseph's Church. Cheers! So guys, you can see that both Shivan and Shanti were so excited to visit this wedding church in Cana. Malaysia boleh. Malaysia boleh. The transformation of water into wine at the wedding at Cana is the first miracle attributed to Jesus in the Gospel of John. We are now passing the Greek Orthodox Christian Church on our way towards the Catholic Church. At this very spot at Cana, Jesus, his mother and the disciples were invited to a wedding. When the wine ran out, Mary asked Jesus to help, and Jesus did his first miracle by converting water into wine at her request. As you walk up to the wedding church in Cana, you see many souvenir shops selling various types of souvenirs, including the famous wedding wine. There's a large selection of wine from normal bottles to small mid-sized souvenir bottles for sale here.
Good. Okay, let's go to the church.
As you are about to arrive at the Catholic Church, you can see on the walls here a few verses from John chapter 2 regarding this miracle. The Franciscans acquired this site in the year 1641, and then they built this church in the 19th century over here. This current facade was completed in 1901. Excavations have unearthed that there was a Jewish synagogue dated back to the 4th or 5th century CE and tombs under rule of the Byzantine Empire beneath this present church. Jesus converted 6 jars of water into wine, and this is a replica of one of the jars as seen here. And here guys, you can see the remains of the 4th to 5th century Byzantine tombs and also the Jewish synagogue. So guys, let's enter the church proper now to have a look at it. The portrait above the main altar here shows the picture of Jesus converting water to wine at Cana. And notice the stand below the altar showing the motif of grapes here. And at the pew here you can see that the readings are open to John chapter 2, which shows the passage where Jesus converts water to wine at Cana. So guys, this is a map of the Basilica of the Annunciation, and see, this is the Franciscan convent here, and the basilica actually has 2 floors, the upper basilica and the lower level or the grotto. First we're going to enter the upper level through the side entrance here, have a look at the altar and the mosaic features here. Then we'll go in down the stairs here, watch the statue of the Virgin Mary here, enter through the main entrance here and explore the grotto. After which we're going to head past this archaeological site here. Ruins of the town of Nazareth is here. Go up the steps here, pass through the statue of St. Joseph and enter to the St. Joseph's Church. Now, Nazareth was the home of Joseph and Mary, and the place where the angel Gabriel was sent to announce to the Virgin Mary that she would be the mother of Jesus Christ the Messiah. And at this very place where the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary, this church was built, the Basilica of the Annunciation. Historians from the 1st and 2nd century Common Era agreed that this was the place of the Annunciation and thus turned this place into a place of worship. Let's now enter the Basilica through to the side entrance to explore the first floor of the church. In 427 CE, the first Byzantine church was built at the site. This first church was destroyed by the Persians in the 7th century, and subsequently when the Crusaders came, they built another church here in the 12th century. This current basilica, consecrated in the year 1969, is built over the ruins of the previous churches here. This mosaic in the central apse, measuring 140 square meters, is supposed to be one of the largest in the world. On top of the mosaic is the inscription Unum Sanctum Catholicum Apostolicum, meaning one Holy Catholic Apostolic. The two large central figures are Jesus with his wide open arms and St. Peter next to him, and behind them is the Virgin Mary dressed in blue. Notice the hands on the statue of the Mother Mary is all blackened because of pilgrims touching her hand. Now let's have a look at the facade of the main entrance of this basilica. On the facade here you can see the drawing of the angel Gabriel and Mary and the four disciples, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. And below that, the inscription in Latin saying, "The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us." So now let's enter this church through this main entrance to explore the grotto on the lower floor of the church. In those times, the division between the Christian and the Judaism faith was not clearly demarcated until St. Peter had his dream, and then there was a division between these two faiths. This demarcation is explained in my previous video, the walk around Jaffa town. You can see this mosaic here. This mosaic dates back to the Judeo-Christian times of the 1st century. And over here you can see the remains of a Jewish ritual bath, a mikveh, which proves that this was the residence of a Jewish family. So you can see the grotto here, there's an altar down there, the remains of a 12th century Crusader church, the walls can be seen, and also the 4th century Byzantine church here. So guys, at the grotto here you see, this altar marks the exact spot where the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary and explained that she would be bearing Jesus. And the stairway at the back there is the stairway to the old Byzantine church which was destroyed before. Now, if you look at the altar, the inscription below the altar reads, "Here the Word was made flesh." This is because this is the exact spot where the angel Gabriel appeared. Now if you leave the church and come outside again, you can see the ruins of the old Nazareth village here. So guys, these cave-like structures seen here are part of the old village of Nazareth. As you head towards the Church of St. Joseph, you are passing the statue of St. Joseph here. The St. Joseph Church, built across the courtyard from the Basilica of the Annunciation, is a neo-Romanesque Franciscan church built in 1914, and it occupies a site believed by popular tradition to be that of Joseph's carpentry workshop. It was constructed on top of a remains of an old Crusader church. Neo-Romanesque or Romanesque revival is a style of building employed in the beginning of the mid-19th century, and it is inspired by 11th and 12th century Romanesque architecture, where there are characteristic simplified arches and windows. If you take the staircase and go below the church, you come to a grotto. So you can see stone remains here. There's even the remains of an old Jewish ritual bath or a mikveh, which lays credence to the fact that this was a place where a Jewish family stayed. So guys, you can see that this was the place where Jesus, Mary and Joseph lived. Joseph had his carpentry workshop and Jesus grew up here. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video where we visited 3 famous churches in Israel. Cheers!